Hello, I'm going to talk about my two case studies, Sir Quentin Blake and Helen Oxenbury, and their market positioning. My first illustrator is Quentin Blake, who is an illustrator, author for children, and a cartoonist. For his lasting contribution as a children's illustrator, he has won many awards, such as the Children's Laureate, the Kate Greenaway Award, the Hans Christian Andersen Award, which is the highest recognition available to illustrators of children's books, and he is also patron of the Association of Illustrators. Quentin is both an author and illustrator of children's books. He also produces products, as seen here, such as greeting cards, special edition prints, wallpaper, fridge magnets, tea towels, and more recently kept himself busy designing 3 rainbow mugs and limited edition prints during the pandemic to help raise money for the NHS. Quentin Blake uses a limited palette for his illustrations, which are produced in black ink and watercolour. He describes himself as producing freewheeling art that looks like it was drawn on the spur of the moment. He has illustrated over 400 books, 18 of which were in collaboration with Roald Dahl, the most famous being Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Most recently, Quentin Blake produced a new set of drawings, Rencontres Inattendus, especially for M, a French weekly magazine, where he has developed a special relationship with France and is patron of the South Ken Kids Festival. Quentin Blake, Merci la France. Quentin celebrates 50 years of children's books, where he has worked extensively in collaboration with authors John Yeoman and Roald Dahl. Famously known for his work with Roald Dahl, his first book with him was called The Enormous Crocodile, a top 10 Roald Dahl bestseller, with more than 500,000 copies sold in the UK alone. His most successful collaborative work is Matilda, and his book The BFG has sold over 40 million copies in the UK editions alone, with more than 1 million copies sold around the world every year. Quentin's most recent book, which he also authored in September 2020, is called The Weed and was inspired by a weed grown through the crack of paving slabs at the bottom of his garden. Quentin has a team behind him who market his products via his website, online, Pinterest, Twitter and Instagram, which has almost 30,000 hot followers in total. His Twitter feeds cover alerts about new content on digital channels, social media publicity, events, illustrative arts and charities that he supports. Quentin's position in the market is so established and huge as his work is recognised worldwide. He is a well-loved and important illustrator who has also featured in the Lightbox, a charity in the UK that supports well-being, drop-ins and workshops for families and children. Blake's work is fun, quirky and energetic. His surreal drawings of oddball-sized characters appeal to both young and old audiences. Blake has massively contributed to the arts, both through visual narratives and by generously offering his time and expertise by donating and fundraising and holding talks and lectures to promote illustration, particularly to young people who may not have otherwise had the opportunity to follow their love of drawing. He even wrote a book in French with a group of children who contributed to the project from around the world. Never one to forego a challenge, Blake was inspired by a taxi driver he had met in London one day to paint the plight of all the terrible things that were happening to people in Europe and elsewhere in the world. He did this by painting a 30-foot long roll of paper off the cuff, whilst being filmed at Hastings Contemporary Art Gallery in East Sussex, and called it The Taxi Driver. Blake has made a lot of public appearances throughout his career, though not so much now he is 87 years old. He has inspired both film and TV through his works. My second illustrator, Helen Oxenbury, is also an illustrator and author of children's picture books. She started out as a stage designer in Colchester and television designer in London, but then branched out into children's book illustrations when she met her husband, who was a graphic designer and illustrator himself. Helen won the Book Trust Lifetime Achievement Award and is highly commended, having won the Greenaway Medal twice and nominated 4 times runner-up for the annual Kate Greenaway Award, notably for illustrations on the reprint of the Quangle Wangle's hat. She is famously known for We're Going on a Bear Hunt, Walker's Publishers, which sold 11 million copies and was translated into 42 languages and also made into a short film in 2016. We're Going on a Bear Hunt website is promoting a £10,000 book giveaway to celebrate 30 years. Helen has illustrated over 100 books of those, 58 books were self-illustrated, one being a number of things. She was the first ever illustrator to design board books for children, toddlers and preschool-aged children that depicted discovering new things and learning about life, which are also showcased on Instagram. In 2015, she presented an illustration on Twitter of Alice in the Looking Glass for auction, where all proceeds went to Save the Children Fund, though apart from a further couple of posts she has not posted on her Twitter account since then. Helen has firmly established and positioned herself in the market globally and has a cult mum and baby toddler following. She appeals to mums in a way that not many illustrators can, by creating a very simplistic and organic attitude to life. She manages to reignite that child within by drawing you back to childhood or one you wish you had had. A major children's book artist, she writes about early childhood and paints in watercolour, producing dreamy illustrations depicting happy memories of where she grew up in Felixstowe with her brother. Helen Oxenbury sells books, puzzles, games, memory cards, games and prints which are sold via her Instagram account, her website and Etsy, as well as in bookstores, and in addition also provides a platform for anyone wanting to run a bookstore, school or library bear hunt. Her collaborations include the book So Much with Trish Cook, which was the first book ever written showing a diverse family. The website artofillustration.co.uk says she is among the most popular and critically acclaimed illustrator of her time. Helen has had a 50-year career with the likes of Penguin, Walker Books and Random House. She has a long-standing relationship with Walker Books, where she was commissioned to design their logo of a bear holding a candlelight, which has become so synonymous worldwide. Both Blake and Oxenbury give lectures and talks and are avid charity fundraisers through their work. They both have a huge presence on Instagram. I see these two illustrators as similar personalities. It could have something to do with the era in which they were born. They both work tirelessly with such vigour, translating with such positivity with their visuals and narratives. Both Blake and Oxenbury are well-respected, well-regarded illustrators, not just here in the UK, but all around the world.